Russia's Rubicon drone formation has quickly become one of the most effective forces on the battlefield, helping to expand its kill zone and seriously complicate Ukraine's logistics. One Ukrainian soldier, called sign Murphy, told Forbes that he recently narrowly escaped being killed by Rubicon. His team barely escaped with their lives when a drone targeted their vehicle, but they managed to escape before it hit. The attack destroyed the vehicle and all their equipment, and they then discovered enemy fiber optics lines in the area. Commenting on the work of the Rubicon unit, Murphy noted, "Their goal is to hit Ukrainian logistics, in this case across the front, improvised Mad Max style. Vehicles have become a common sight," he said. Ordinary trucks are constantly reinforced with welded metal cages in a desperate attempt to survive drone strikes. Forbes noted that due to constant Russian drone strikes, Ukraine is facing a shortage of trucks, pickups, and armored vehicles, many of which are destroyed during delivery and evacuation. "It came out of nowhere. We barely had time to jump out before it hit our vehicle and set everything on fire. We saw the drone too late to shoot it down. As we ran for cover, it turned around and crashed into our pickup, destroying all our drones and ammunition," Murphy added. Forbes recalled that Russian drone formations like Rubicon were a key factor in Moscow's success in repelling Ukraine's invasion of Kherson in August 2024. By striking Ukraine's flanks and using fiber optic drones to pressure logistical supply routes, Russia was eventually able to push Kiev out after months of intense fighting. In July, the New York Times reported that Ukrainian fighters recognized Rubicon as a turning point in Russia's drone campaign. At the same time, American volunteer Rebecca Masyarovsky, who leads the medical unit of Ukraine's 53rd Mechanized Brigade, said the game changed when they came here. In turn, open-source weapons researcher Roy Gardiner noted that the Rubicon unit is especially dangerous due to the concentration of Russia's most experienced fiber optic FPV operators. Forbes added that Rubicon's success shows that Russia has learned from past mistakes and has become much more effective in the war against drones. At the same time, Ukraine is now racing against time to develop countermeasures and more effectively attack elite formations like Rubicon.
Fighters of the 65th Mechanized Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces have repelled another assault by the invading Russian army near the town of Kharkiv in Zaporizhia region. The invaders, who attempted to advance using tanks and armored personnel carriers equipped with anti-drone systems, were stopped by drone and artillery strikes. As a result of strikes from various artillery systems and kamikaze drones, at least 7 armored vehicles and more than 30 invading soldiers were destroyed before they could approach the Ukrainian army's positions.
On the night of September the 1st, the Ukrainian military made another attempt to attack Russian targets in Crimea and Kuban using attack drones. During the attack, an American strategic high-altitude reconnaissance drone, Northrop Grumman RQ-4B Global Hawk, was in the skies over the Black Sea, which was probably adjusting the attack. The presence of the drone was signaled by the US Air Force monitoring resources, monitoring the airspace, says Russian media. Before this outrageous incident, Western reconnaissance aircraft, including those representing the US Air Force, both manned and unmanned, were engaged in surveillance and transmitting data to the Ukrainians, and recently usually left the region right before the attacks of the Ukrainian armed forces, as if pretending that we are not there, it was not us. However, this time the Americans did not, hypocritically and shyly. On August the 31st, the aforementioned RQ-4B Global Hawk, with the call sign Fort 10, once again took off from the NATO naval airbase Sigonella in Sicily and proceeded through the skies of Greece and Bulgaria into the airspace over the Black Sea. After that, moving at an altitude of 16 kilometers, it began flying near Sevastopol, Novorossiysk, Tuapse, and Sochi. The activity of the American drone lasted for several hours. It did not stop its work when a massive attack of Ukrainian attack drones on the territory of the Russian Federation began. According to Russian experts, they have no doubt that the aforementioned RQ-4B Global Hawk of the US Air Force directly adjusted the raid of the Ukrainian armed forces. They believe that the Americans have once again changed their tactics. The experts recalled that after the inauguration of US President Donald Trump, this RQ-4B Global Hawk did not appear in the region for several months. But in June, despite the incessant talk about negotiations with Moscow, Washington again sent its strategist to the region. Moreover, it is now directly involved in Kiev's missions against the Russian Federation and must be shot down. For example, this is the opinion of the head of the Center for the Study of Military and Political Conflicts, Andrei Klintsevich. But that's not all. Recently, this RQ-4B Global Hawk flew near the Leningrad and Pskov regions from the side of Latvia, Estonia, and Finland, carrying out its activities along the Russian border. As a result, the wreckage of the Ukrainian drone caused a fire at the Novatek terminal in the Ust-Luga seaport, and the work of the Pulkovo International Airport in St. Petersburg was paralyzed for several hours.